I am so taken aback by the post that I put up this morning on my own personal page. I was explaining that I had deleted 53 people this morning. Every time somebody's birthday comes up or when you get reminded about the birthdays, what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks is I've been checking out to see what our relationship is like, to see if we're interacting with each other, to see if they don't fall in the 50-50 category. Now, I know that it isn't possible for me to be friends with 5,000 people. I can count my friends on one hand. But I was lying there in bed this morning just having a snooze, and I put that up. There's like a couple of hundred comments on that post, and it's obviously hitting a nerve with a lot of people. And the disturbing part for me is that some people were saying on the post that they wouldn't have the confidence to unfriend people, or they wouldn't have the confidence to block people or unfollow or whatever it may be. So I suppose the intention behind me doing it is that, you know, I'm on social media all the time, and I know for sure that there is a lot of curtain twitchers on social media observing me, and there's people who are on there who are just being nosy, and you know what, that's okay. But me accommodating that is not in alignment with my values. So even though I'm flat out for time, I've decided this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of the energy that is no longer in alignment with my values. It's never been in alignment with my values, but I noticed and I realised this morning, if I'm accommodating that, I'm tolerating that. So I'm going to get rid of the energy off my personal page where people aren't interacting with me. You know, people very, in a silly sense, have me on a pedestal. I'm a person. I have feelings. I'm a human being. I have challenges like everybody else. Just because I'm doing the work that I'm doing doesn't make me any different to you. I'm exactly the same. So, if you see something that you like that I put up on social media, interact, like it, share it, comment, do whatever it is you want to do. If you're not into the work that I do, block me, unfollow me, unlike the page, unfriend me. Do whatever it is that's in alignment with your values. But if you're watching this and you're a curtain twitcher, curtain twitch somewhere else, because you're wasting your time and you're only wrecking your own head. Now, my intention behind doing this video is what I'm concerned about is the people who they don't find themselves standing on solid ground enough whereby they feel like they can eradicate these people out of their lives. Now, I saw a brilliant comment on the original post earlier on, which is this. Somebody said that they're friends with people on Facebook, and then when they see them in the street down the town, they don't even bother to say hello to them. So if they're ignoring them in the street, they're definitely going to ignore them in social media. And that to me is curtain twitching. And curtain twitching, I get an allergic reaction. I need an antihistamine when I see that lark going on social media. It annoys the shite out of me. So, for the people who are struggling with deleting or blocking or whatever, and by the way, I've done this with my own family, and this isn't coming from a braggadocious point of view. You know, I don't. My feet are firmly on the ground, lads. And if they weren't, I've plenty of people around me who'd put them back in the ground for me pretty pronto. When you find yourself in that position, okay, and you're fearing judgment. Actually, what somebody said on the page earlier on was, I don't want to offend anybody, okay? But if they have no interest in your life, and if they are curtain twitching in your life, by keeping them in your life, you're offending yourself. That is a self-offence, okay? And we teach people how to respect us. So what we're putting out there is what we're getting back, okay? What we believe we is deserving in our life is what is served to us, okay? So we need to stand at the helm and be the captain of your ship. Do you get me? And if we're allowing the judgment and the thoughts of other people decide which way that you're driving the bus, this is madness. You're handing your power away to people on social media. Absolutely no way. Somebody said they didn't have the guts to do it earlier on. I said, borrow mine. I've plenty of them, plenty of guts to go around, okay? So when we're people pleasing, we're becoming chameleons, we are becoming confetti people. Loved speaking about that in the last workshop. And we're self-sacrificing. When you are saying yes to other people, you are saying no to you. And lads, we can't have it. We cannot have it on this shift, okay? If you're going to be hanging around here on this page, if you're going to be spending time with me, if you're going to be going to workshops, we better start helping each other pull our socks up, okay? So let's start leaning in more on this page and showing up. Show up. Like, there was people on that thread today who were like, you know, I love your work. Lots of lovely compliments. But I've never heard of them before. It's like people are observing, but they're not leaning in. Or people are observing and you don't know, like, can you help them in any other way? Like, if I knew what was going on for them, I'd be able to go on and do more videos tailored exactly to their needs. And it's nearly like, when people are observing and they're not connected, see, this is why it's triggering me, okay? It's the connection, it's the touch. And anybody who's involved with any of the groups that I have online, you know I'm all about the tribe. You know I'm all about the community, keeping you close, keeping you safe, keeping you tightly knit, okay? And when I show up fully. There's no difference in me now. When I was on the phone to my friend Chris or Simon there a few minutes ago, when I was downstairs giving out in the kitchen, when I'm inside with the kids, when I'm working, when I'm presenting, this is it. This is as good as it's getting, lads. It doesn't get any better than this. All I will say to you is, if you are listening to this or you are participating in that thread earlier on, show up fully. Show up fully for who you are and connect. I can't connect with you if I don't know that you're there, okay? I have to be able to see you. I can't see you if you don't connect, if you're not liking, if you're not commenting, if you're not engaging in conversation, if you're not asking questions. Please, please, please lean in and connect with the page, okay? I cannot deliver what you need if I don't know you exist, okay? I need to know that you're there. Now, there was something else I wanted to say. I need to know that you're there. Lean in, connect on the page. There was another trigger, and you know what's going to happen for me? I'm going to get off. I'm going to press finish now, and I'm going to get off this call, and I'm going to say, I remembered it. I remembered what it was. And if that's what happens, I'll come back on and do another live stream. But I know that it was important. That's wrecking me head now. Okay, I'm going to go. I hope you enjoyed that. I remembered. Did I remember? Yes, I remembered. Thank God. Okay, so a girl private messaged me. She didn't interact on the thread. And she said, Nicola, I aspire to be more like you. And I said, hold up. I got great advice from Oprah Winfrey years ago. She was interviewing. And a girl in the audience said, she stood up and she said, Oprah, I hope to be like you someday, and I aspire to be more like you. And Oprah stood up and said, no, you need to aspire to be more like yourself. You need to fill your boots. You need to be more like you. Now, what you can do is, and I encourage people to do this all the time, it's actually part of one of my workshops, is look at the people that you admire and list their characteristics and cherry pick the ones that you want to grow within you, okay? I do that all the time with people that I admire, okay? I just got off 2 calls there. One was voice note and the other one was an actual video call with 2 friends of mine in the UK. Chris Cook, who is an Olympian, and Simon Hartley, who is a sports psychologist. It's a company called Be World Class. 2 amazing human beings, absolutely outstanding. And I love both of those guys deeply. So I look at people like that and I say, look at those amazing characteristics. Look at what those guys are doing in the world and the changes that they're making. And I look at parts of them and I say, yeah, I want to adapt that into my life. Do you know what Simon Hartley helped me with about 2 years ago? Composure. Composure. To be more composed. That was a characteristic that I wanted to develop, and Simon Hartley helped me do that. So if you feel like you fall under that umbrella, like that lady said to me, I aspire to be more like you, don't do that. Aspire to be more like you. Fill your boots. If you see a characteristic in me that you really, really like, take that and adapt it, but explode it up inside you and show up for the full version of who you are. Because it's you that we need. We don't need a version of somebody else, you mimicking somebody else. That's a mask, that's heavy, that's being another chameleon. We don't need any more chameleons. We need authenticity, we need captains of ships, we need drivers of buses, and we just need you to be you. That is it. And you will learn those tools if you hang around on this page for long enough. You will learn those tools if you engage with any of the programs that we put on online. And just so you know, lads, if you're interested in doing the values workshop, that's next Wednesday. Cannot wait for that. If you do not have your values sorted, there's a problem. Okay, there's a big, big problem. You're knocking into walls the whole time, okay, and you're having confrontation situations, which we will teach you to get out of. So that's happening next Wednesday. And the last two programs that I've put on this month, which was Discovering Who I Am, it was fabulous. Module 1, 2, 3 and 4 are all going to be for sale in about 2 weeks time online. And then the last one that I did was the Positive Parenting Top Tips. That's going to be for sale for you to keep for you forever, so that you can watch and rewatch and relearn and relearn. I got an email from a lad the other day who just finished watching the Positive Parenting Tips. He took 18 pages of notes. Isn't that fantastic? That there's a dad out there that's done all that work. So listen, I'm going downstairs for my dinner. Take it easy. Slán. And show up for who you are.